Hello, Akku here again. Welcome to episode 34 of my Feed the Beast 1.5.2 beta. Still waiting on info about the 0.7 pack. Now, I've got a bit of info as from yesterday's episode that has gone out about an hour ago. It was going to be called a new mod pack name and not be 0.7 in the beta. Now it's going to be 0.7 in the beta and it will become a recommended proper mod next week once I know there's no issues with the beta version of it. It still does require a world restart because all the block IDs are going to be different from the 0.5 and 0.6 versions. So it's going to require a restart still. So basically just messing around until we get that. This is a really nice mining age I've made. I'm really quite happy with it. It's something's weird. The way I'm making ages isn't working correctly. Something's going on. I did specify most of this. I've specified a flat tiled world with alternating plains and desert, which I've got. Flat tiled world, alternating plains and desert. This was an idea from Joseph. Thanks, Joseph. It actually works really nice. It tiles it in chunk blocks. So there we go. Look, each tile is a chunk, which is actually really nice. So what we can do with that is we can throw our pick down, pick it back up for no reason. Jim's set up a quarry here. My quarry's still in the other age because it hadn't finished yet before we started this. There you go. Here's Jim's quarry that is set up. And sorry for the well not loading in. The well really loads in badly when I'm recording. Look at them guys. Must be I reckon that's a spawner. The well loads in really badly when I'm recording, so I apologise for that. But this is nice. So what you should get here is. So is it for 16 desert chunks and 16 plains chunks, which means it should get some bauxite and it should get some rubies. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work. I've not been down to the bottom of the world yet, but I'm keeping my eye on it, see what happens if we start seeing rubies or bauxite down there. I'm going to bring my quarry here as well once it's finished where it is. Another side effect to this, of course, is quite a lot of oil in the deserty bits. There is a lot of oil now from Buildcraft. It's something that I should have been on with earlier, I think. I should really start using pumping oil. And I think that's what I'm going to do in this episode. I'm going to start looking at a way of getting oil back to our base from the world, from this world in fact, seeing as I've got it here, and using that to produce fuel, rather than waiting for the bees. Because, as just explained, we're not actually going to get the bees on this server anymore. So I want to mess around with these oil things, and I want to show you a couple of things that you can do to split these up. And getting back to the base. The other things are specified in this world were crystals and villages. We've got both of them, so that worked nice as well. Look at them, having a bit of a meeting out front there. Hello. What I didn't specify though was extra suns, and there is another sun. There's a moon, look, and there's a sun. That sun's moving, but really slow, and there is another sun. So I specified normal, and normal sky colour and stuff. So something weird's happened. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but writing books isn't the same as what it was last time I did them, because I could actually get the exact results I wanted before. So not sure what's going on there, but I'm sure I'll work it out. When we start the new server, I will be getting on with Mystcraft quite early because I want to get going with things. So I've made couple of portals here like I mentioned yesterday, so I can get in and out of the treehouse nice and quick there. I don't have to go up into the village. And same there with the nether hub. We actually don't need the nether hub. It actually works out that I made another interlinking book and you only need one. Well, I needed one gold dust, so that turns out that's really cheap. You throw that in there, take the link panel, and then if you look at that, that should be interlinking. There it is, look. Interlinking link panel there. So making interlinking books is really quite straightforward. We use a nether hub because without interlinking you have to go to a different dimension and back, so that's the whole point of our nether hub really. But because it's so easy to make interlinking books, probably don't need this at all. There is a comment on yesterday's video that this Wall of Facts is possibly a bit racist. I don't think it's meant to be intentionally offensive, but I can see it possibly may offend people. I'm sorry if it does. I didn't make this. This is it's not meant to be. See, look, that's a bit shortest. It's not meant to upset anyone. I hope it doesn't. It's all meant to be in good fun. Said this grew at their workplace over many years of just daft things getting written onto a whiteboard at first. Anyway, I won't go on about that. Well, yeah, sorry if it offends anyone. It's not meant to. It's meant to be all just in fun. So here's the mining world. So that's what I specified there: flat, tiled, plains, desert, crystals, and village. And what you can actually do is just take that out there a second. Get an empty hand. Take that out. What you can do with a book is you put it on a stand. Is you can actually look what the pages are, and I think you can copy books. So if someone's got an age that you like the look of, I think you can do a straight copy of their age. But what you can do with, let me get that book. Let me get a stand out there a second. Go on, fiddly. What you can do with the books on a stand, you can, if it's a random one that you just created using a panel and a thing, then you can't look at this. But if it's one that you've made using pages, you can click on the tab here, and you can mouse over. You can see what the pages are. So look, desert and plains, followed by tiled. So that's the first bit there, and then normal moon, normal stars, normal sun, crystal formations, villages, bright lighting, flat, normal weather. That's it. That's all the ones I put in. So you can see that we've got some extra stuff there with the different sky colour. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. Different sky colour and stuff. Anyway, set that back out and slot it back in there. Cover that hole up. Just been messing around with some gates at Jim's tree farm. That is working out how to make, so we can make it on the next server. Put that stuff back in there for now. Right, that can go back in there, that can go in there as well. Entry linking page. And sling that in there. And tidy that up. Right. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make another pump, like the one we've got in the nether. And I'm going to use it to start getting some oil back to the base when we find it. And holy shit, look how much creosote I've got. That's nearly filled that 4.8 million capacity tank. So yeah, if you start doing this with creosote, either go with enough creosote to run a boiler, or run it in a smaller boiler, or start using EU, so you're actually using some of this up. But that's a lot of EU stored up in there. I'm going to have to deal with that soon. I don't know whether to put another valve in at the top and just have it so if the tank's full it pumps into a void line, or start running a second tank full of creosote. It doesn't really matter now because the server's going, of course, but if that Omni wrench issue wouldn't have been around, I would have been using some of this. So this is only happening because I'm refusing to make a IC2 wrench. Right, I'll cut the camera. I'm going to get some bits of equipment together to start looking at making some fuel. Back in a bit. Okay, back. Just one little thing I want to do before we get on with the hello there. Who are you? Hey, purist. Before we get on with pumping oil, if you remember Face Stabber, I've been using Face Stabber 2. Face Stabber 1 was waiting for a nether star to give it looting. So of course I've got nether star now because of the wither killing contraption. So if you put another star in there, it had another modifier on there. So this already had the maximum amount of modifiers we could put on it. I think in hindsight I'd probably get rid of necrotic and add more quartz. I'm not sure if that's as much quartz as you can have, but there we go. We can get another modifier on there. And now with that other modifier on, what we can do is we can add fortune onto this. 450, which is 50 blocks of lapis. So let's quickly slam them on there. And that, I believe, should give this looting 3. So this is essentially the same as that, I think. Sharpness 5. I'm not sure how much sharpness this has actually got on it. 216, I'll have to have a look. It's got that necrotic, which is lifesteal, isn't it? I think, yeah, I think if I to do this again, I'd probably leave that off. There we go, looting 3, so same as that. It's got sharpness, it's got looting 3, it's got auto repair, that's got repair, so these are very similar. The new version we're getting damage indicators, by the way, which is a little health bar that you see on, if you watch any like Yogscast videos, or even if you watched my video the other day on fire. If you watched my video the other day on Hexit, the damage indicators that give a little health bar what you're looking at. So we're getting them in the new version. We're getting that mod, which is pretty cool. Well, so it'd be nice to see. Plus, let's actually work out how many hearts of damage the normal one does. I think personally, as much as I really like the Tinker's Constructs pick, which I really do like, really do like. I think I'll probably stick with my Mystcraft sword. It's nice that it's got a soul seal on there as well, but I just like building things up with enchants. I don't know. It's still a damn good sword there, isn't it? I think it repairs pretty quick. Don't repair quite as quick as the Mystcraft sword does, but it's apples and oranges in it. I think they're both pretty good swords. As you can see there, I was getting impatient waiting for that lapis to turn into blocks, so I made some quick overclocker upgrades. They're pretty straightforward. Circuits, cables, really basic IC2 stuff, and 10k coolant cells, which are just added them like that. I used water with tin round it. I used cells of water. So come on, where's the cell, for God's sake? Water cell. I used cells of water. I made some coolant cells. I just made 6 overclockers to speed that up because I was getting impatient waiting. Right, so I have made some little bits. The first one I'm going to need is just keep on top of my inventory. Let's get them in there. And yeah, as much as I like Face Stabber, I prefer Face Stabber 2, I think, so that can go back in there. Just wanted to show you the final upgrade on that on the Nether Star, since we've not done it before. I've made some bits here. The first things we need are these, and the first thing we actually need is I need a bucket of oil. So I'm going to run in here, and I'm going to use that one there. That's nice and close to start with. But first of all, I need a bucket of oil, because did not mean to throw that on the floor. Thank you. Because we need to determine where it's going to go in our base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up a tank, one of the 4.8 million tanks of oil. Then I'm going to set up a little system to send it into a refinery. And we've got power there, haven't we? I might as well use these two. So what we need to do then is, if I can remember what colour goes into the tank, I can find out there. It's green. So I'm going to want oil going in the green. So that's going to put, if any oil comes through our shared liquid tesseract there, it's going to go into the green. That's pretty cool. So first things I need for this, of course, a pump. So a pump you make using a mining well. Let's get rid of that. Mining well, really straightforward, vanilla stuff. Well, basic buildcraft stuff. When you add the iron gear in there, get you a mining well, and just combine that with a basic buildcraft tank, which is just 8 bits of glass in a square. Get you a pump, same as what we've got in the Nether, exactly the same. This is going to need chunk loading, of course. I think I've got a chunk loader. We'll certainly have. Excellent. So, something else I need out of there that I should have grabbed is my angel platform, angel block. So, right, what we'll do with this then. So, I like to put the pump right on top of there. So, what I'm going to do is, I want my angel block to be just here, I think. Is that good enough? That's good enough. So, angel block places right underneath your feet where you stood. So, see that was underneath me. So, what I can do now is we'll put the pump next to that, like so, and I can get the angel block back, like so. Wonderful. So now it's a case of powering this, so I made an energy tesseract for that. So energy tesseract is just going to use the same channel. So it looks like there's water splashing there. I don't think there is water in it though, but that can be an issue, and we are going to deal with that. So energy tesseracts on the side, like so. And like I said, I'm just going to put that so it shares power with my quarry there. So the quarry will slow down a little bit, but it's not a big deal. And that's started pumping, and we've got nowhere for it to go. So quickly, what I want to do is I'm putting one of them liquid routers on there, and blue side I want oil to go to. Get a liquid tesseract on there. Liquids. So that should be working, and the other thing we need is a void pipe, because there could be water mixed up in there. So one thing that happens with these is that they get mixed up with water. Now I think that'll just stop if there is water in it at the minute, because there's nowhere for the water to go if it's going through there. But what if I do, if I pick another direction with a liquid void pipe, which is what I meant to bring, but I forgot, we should be able to just void any water that it collects. That's one of the issues why I never like doing this with oil, with collecting oil and stuff, because if you do get mixed up with water, you get all kind of blockages in your pipes, and these wear down pretty quick. But when you've only got to move a few blocks, it's not that bad, is it? So let's as I said, chunk load that. Probably it's over a couple of chunks here, isn't it? So I'm gonna leave that set to 2. That'll be fine. So that's chunk loaded. Go back to the base, make sure that's going alright. Now I'm not 100% sure about the water thing. I have seen them get mixed up with water before, and it's one of the things that turn me off using them. What we should be getting is just oil in there, and we are. But it's stopped. So does that mean there is water in there? Let's find out. So what I need for that then is a void pipe, which I should have some of. Are they in my bag as well? Yeah, void transport pipe, and that needs to be waterproofed. And to waterproof that, we can use beeswax. The general way of doing it is cactus green, but you can use beeswax as well. Is it just straight? No, right. We'll put that in there, turn that into waterproofing first. Gets us a void waterproof pipe. So of course we need a bucket of water as well. And now if we go back there, that certainly has stopped. No, and it started again. So I'm not sure what the crack is there. And like I say, I'm not even sure if there is a water issue here. I don't know a great deal about this oil fans. No, it used to be a pain in my ass. I never really bothered with it. Let's drop that down there. So waterproof void pipe on the green side. Green side, want water to go to. Now, if any water comes out the pump, looks like it's full of bloody oil. That's not what we wanted, is it? You got oil in there? Don't like the look of that. That's just black anyway though, isn't it? Well, that's confusing. I can't actually tell us any liquid in that. Well, it's certainly sucking oil up, innit? So let's just leave it like that for now then. See if water becomes an issue. Of course I could go down the hole here. Should be a hole down to pretty much bedrock. Now, a few days ago I added respirations free to my goggles. I had this, I don't think I showed this, but I had a respiration free book in my bag for quite a while. I think I showed it the book in the bag. At some point when I had enough levels, I added that to my goggles. I also had a reading, which I'll probably never use, but... So we come down here. Is this all oil? Shit. Look at all that. So that's either all oil, or there's some water in there. This is all oil, that's crazy. If this place is full of these big things of oil, there's going to be loads of oil in here. But I do not, honest truth is, I don't know if it's oil or water or a mixture. But we'll let it run, we'll see what happens. Now you see it's still bright, but it's night time. So that other real slow sun's finally gone down. But it's still bright because this is a bright weld, of course, because I don't have the normal lighting. I had to put bright lighting in. Right, so there's the first part done. So even though it looks light, it's actually not, which is why we're getting mob spawning. Which kind of makes the world look nice, but that's why I prefer doing a normal light, or even better, a day world. The problem with the dark, with the bright lighting, if you start doing caving, all of a sudden you end up with loads of mobs. If you do a daylight world with brightness, if you start caving, because mobs can't spawn on the surface, they'll spawn in whatever cave you make. It can be a bit dangerous. So that kind of stops when things come in there, doesn't it? Wonder if I'm having issues with the water. Well, I'll go put that pipe back on, and hopefully it won't cause us to lose oil. I should maybe make the pipe a little bit longer so I can see what's going into it. That's a good idea, isn't it? Back in a second. I'll do this off camera. So there we go, back again, and there is no water in there. That's all good, but there is oil in there still. Let's go. Yeah, still got oil in here, loads of it. So we'll see how that goes, see how much oil we get into the tank from that. Let's fly back over there, and we'll actually see. We won't see if there's any water in there, will we? But I wonder. Okay, and now what we need to do is go back to the place and start refining that into fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a refinery off camera. I'm going to run some power lines under here, then I'll come back, and instead of running this into the tesseract there, we'll probably run it straight into a refinery here, and then pump that back into there, and fuel into that one, I think. One other thing I want to show you, I made this other weld I meant to show you at the start of the episode. This is unstable, it's turned out really crazy. I skipped a load of the things it needed, but it's got gold tendrils, so I wanted to show you. It's also got red decay, which I wanted to show you. I tried making an oil field ocean, and what that is, it's not a full oily sea. It's, so I've gone bland, which is why it's gone dark. But if you look at the map there, it's an oil field ocean, so there's loads of oil in the sea, which would definitely need to be able to separate the oil and the water from. In this case, you can see there's all, there we go. But there's also gold tendrils, and I didn't put these in, this was randomly generated. There's also red decay, that thing there. Look at the gold tendrils, that's ridiculous. This is one of the things that I've never used. I think it's a bit silly in Mystcraft, the fact you can just get these gold and diamond tendrils and stuff. It's something that I never purposely put into a world, but I just wanted to show you it as it was randomly generated. Yeah, unfortunately this world is really bad. It's slowness, blandness, and red decay. Now red decay is what happens to a world that's not stable. If that actually wears off, which I don't think it's going to. If that blandness wore off, I could show you. There we go. See a bit more appeared over there. Now that'll eventually envelope the full world, but look how much oil there is. It's ridiculous. Bits of decay. In fact, that's, you can see it growing under the water there. Look, there's decay growing. So that will envelope this world pretty quick. So with these unstable worlds, and I'm pretty sure that these tendrils create an instability, then you've got to be careful, because the decay will grow, and it'll take your book out as well with the decay. But you can add stability back into worlds by using things like scorched earth and meteorites and stuff like that. Them kind of things that can damage you reduce the stability a bit. So that if this world had been made like that, it'd possibly slow down or stop the rate of that red decay spreading. But yeah, pretty crazy age. That's what I wanted to show you. Right, I'll go and mix that stuff, refinery, into all the bits of the refinery, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, back again with a little bit of infrastructure set up. I've got a conduit running under the ground to here. I'll put some liquid up on there, get rid of that tesseract that was there. And what's going on there? Oh, it's creosote. I thought there was fuel in it. I thought, where the hell is that coming from? So you see the pipes share. It's quite clever. The pipes share whatever liquids are coming through. Right, so what we need here for this is a couple of diamond gears that I made off camera, 3 tanks, and I'm making 2 refineries because I don't think one will be quick enough. So there you go, that's what we need for refineries. And these are sided, so we need to, right, which way do I want to face them? That's right, yeah. So it's the double side is where you want your oil to go in, and the single side is where your fuel will come out. And that axe is really good pick. So we put these here. Now I don't actually want to start pumping fuel out of this yet, because I want to see how much oil we get from that one well. We'll see if we can actually fill that tank. As you see, it's doing alright. It's up to 1.4 mil nearly, so 1400 buckets, and it's still coming strong by the look of it. So what's going to happen then is these will fill up with fuel, and then it'll stop again. It'll stop working what it's getting. So that's coming in, it's still going up. So there's more coming in than there is going out still. Well, they're full now, that's why. I think that might have been put in the same as it was taken out, because for a second when I looked there, it was still, and I was possibly filling these tanks up. So this holds some liquid, and hopefully it should be able to give me a bucket's worth as well, because I actually need a bucket of fuel. I don't think it's going to. That's a shame. How can I get a bucket of fuel out of there? I have to put a portable tank. Unless I can just right click it. No. Give me a bucket of fuel, you bastard. What I need is a bucket of fuel to tell this tank to accept fuel by putting the bucket there. I was hoping I'd be able to put a bucket in one of these things, but I've no idea what they're for, to be honest. But they clearly don't take buckets. So what I think I need to do is get a portable tank. Can I fill up a bucket from a portable tank? I'll find out, won't I? See if I've got one in here. I have. Come on, all I want is a bucket. So, well, look at that. They are turned on. It's putting creosote in there, isn't it? That's creosote. Was you creosote? You was, wasn't you? That's not fuel, is it? Son of a whore. Well, at least we'll be able to find out if we can. Let's just break that for now, because it's going to cause you more problems. Then, yeah, it's creosote in there. Fucking thing. Can I bucket out of you? I can. And I can bucket into that valve. Like so. So there we go. We can get shit out of there. And that's a real small amount. So it's not going to let us. So I'm just going to break that to get rid of that creosote out of there. So if we wrench that, and wrench this to actually put fuel into there, I'll wrench that one as well, and then we can get a bucket's worth. Idiot. I need another liquid duct in between. Of course we do. Come on, stop being a tit. Another liquid duct in between. Give that a tickle with a wrench that connects. Now we have to put some fuel into there. Don't connect to the top of it. That'll do. Messing about here. Now I can get a bucket of fuel, which I can then tell to accept fuel into the green slot, which makes this a fuel tank. Now that was fucking about, wasn't it? And it all seems to have stopped for the time being. So let's have a go look at the oil, and then I'm going to cut the camera and watch it until all that oil gets used up. Oh, it's raining. Interesting. Let's see how far down this has gone. On fly, my pretty, fly. Turn on flight. Thank you. So let's use most of that, and that was all oil. There wasn't no water there. But So this was all full of oil. That's quite interesting, isn't it? A big round bubble of oil at the bottom. Pretty cool. Okay, I'll let that finish up then, and then we'll see exactly how much oil it got before we start refining it all. Hello, back again, and the video's at 30 minutes, and I am going to stop early for a change, like I always say, mate. I just want to point out that this thing's working away nice. They're all still full. This boiler warmed up, and since then this has filled back up again. So I'm definitely, I mean, I've got a full tank of ethanol sat there, so this is only working when it's needed, so I'm pretty sure this could run a second boiler as well. I've been having a quick look trying to find out how many buckets an hour this can produce when it's full. And I've not found it yet, but I need to have a look for it. I need to do 36 buckets per boiler, so I'm not 100% sure how many buckets an hour it makes, but I keep meaning to look at that just so you can see how much fuel that's using. This is all seems to be working alright. Everything's still sat full because it's obviously the fertilizer keeps things full. I'll just put this onto number of items, and as you can see, the things that it's using, 21k there, still 8k there. That was about 3.5k, I think. That's gradually coming down. The cocoa's come down, that's on 1025. But there's three of the things that are held on 1024. The carrots, cocoas and potatoes. So they're actually maintaining their 1024-ish level because of that. So there's a cocoa, for example. And melons and pumpkins. Well, pumpkins should be getting held at 256 pumpkins, so that's been held at its limit as well. And melons, I think melons are still high. Where's melon? Yeah, we've still got a shit ton. We had about 10,000, didn't we, melon seeds? So that's not settled out yet. But that's how they're going. Looks like the amount of oil stops. Now, it looks a bit weird. I'm just going to go have a look at it real quick. But we haven't had no more oil coming there for a while. It's about 1.5 million, so 1,500 buckets worth. It ain't bad at all. So that's alright. What I'm going to do is, I am going to quickly, well, this seems a bit weird, but I'm going to fill it up so it's got an exact amount of buckets in it. At the minute it's got like 280. If it's at least an exact amount of buckets, will that go back up the top? I hope not. No, good. So that's at least now it's an exact amount of buckets, so I can just take the 8 buckets worth out of there again. 8,000 MB. And now we can connect that up to there and give it a little tickle with a wrench. So that's going to go into there because that's what it's that's what we put that in there for, fuel bucket, and I'll put that in there as well. Click. Do these empty into there? Wonder. No. Okay. So that's working away. So that does need some manual moving of this end of it, of course. So if we look at this, it is a bit weird, this. So I just want to show you that I was down in the bottom of there and it looked like it was still liquid in, but I don't think it does, even though, oh, no it doesn't. I think this was just, right, so it actually has all gone now. Okay. I think the liquid that was shown here was just like a residue of, like when you get lava left over. I don't think there was actually any liquid in here when I was down here last time. So there we go. I'm going to wrap up the episode there. An actual short one for a change instead of me saying it's short and being 40 minutes. And no more news on the new version yet. I just had a quick check before I started recording again. So as of 2 minutes ago, I know nothing more. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to add another little bit to the end of the video from Hexit, and it's a little thing that I recorded yesterday. I like the look of it, so I'll add that on to the end of this. Cheers. Bye. Holy shit! Look at this thing. Yeah, bit of a castle. Quite impressive from down here, but that gets more impressive. Check this thing out. Look at this. Fucking awesome. I thought it was a natural mountain when I first saw it. It's only because there's another one behind there and it's the same that I realised this is all one big castle, and all that has got stuff inside it. There's the occasional windows in it attest to. Honestly, there is some windows. There's one, look. Little room in there. Brilliant little bridge across. And any Game of Thrones fans will recognise Sky Cells when they see them. Look at them, sweet. And the hole where Bronn kicked the guy out of. Awesome. Thought I'd share that with you. And not sure which mod adds it, but whichever one does, very nice work, sir. Very nice. And just to show that it's actually a standard kind of addition, there's another one exactly the same. So that's putting a bit of commitment into a dungeon, that, isn't it? That's an awesome build. You can actually see a little bit of inside there with it not quite loading in quick enough. Really cool. Well impressed. Seconds after I finished that, the server went down, and if you look on the chat, I'm sure Jim spawned some trash cans in, so I reckon it's another trash can related server crash. So I'll leave you with that. That Hexit thing was pretty cool, wasn't it? Okay, cheers, bye.